Hey, hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Now, I am saving up for a camera, so if I could get a special thanks to help me on my journey to getting that camera, that would be absolutely awesome. So thank you in advance. I'm doing a 1,000-day vlog, by the way, 1,000 days of vlogs. And every day I talk about something completely uniquely different, and it's nice to shake it up, I think, to do that. So my name is Chris. If you could subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get into it. So today I'm going to talk about bad habits, and in particular food. I've had some really bad habits over the years. I've eaten some really bad food. That's if even you can call it food. You know, I watch a lot of these sort of nutritionists talking on Instagram and TikTok, and I think generally most people say the healthiest food that you will ever eat is the natural grown stuff. You know, all the vegetables, you know, just eating. We know what is good food, don't we? And we know what is bad food. So say, for example, if I go down to the corner shop and I buy myself the biggest bar of chocolate going, I know that's not healthy for me to eat that. And the ramifications of eating, say, that said bar of chocolate for over an extended period of time, well, it's damaging to your health. And I think there is some kind of Chinese proverb that says that your food is your medicine. It goes something like, if food is your medicine will be your food. So very wise words indeed. I think we're all guilty at times of eating the wrong things. And whilst, you know, maybe at Christmas or maybe, you know, in a public holiday or maybe going out as a treat, we do indulge ourselves, don't we? And it's the repetition of that indulgence, I think, that can cause real problems. I've fluctuated with my weight over the years, over many different times, you know. I think I've been guilty of comfort eating. And whenever I felt stressed, anxious, I've probably eaten more of the wrong stuff than I should have done. And you know, when you feel that you're an emotional eater, it's very quick for you to go to that, isn't it? You know, it's very quick to go to that bar of chocolate, that slice of cake, to that very thing that you know you shouldn't be doing. And habitually, you know, it's part of the human condition, I think, where we do gravitate or get ourselves addicted to certain things. You know, alcohol, drugs, food, whatever it is, you know. So we're all guilty of it, you know. And I read somewhere that we're all addicted to something. It's finding that something that's very least damaging to you as a human being. But just on the subject of food, I'm somebody I would say enjoys my food. You could probably tell, you know. One of my favourite types of food is a good old-fashioned English roast dinner. Now, across Christmas, I had 3 roast dinners on 3 consecutive days. Did I enjoy it? Absolutely, I did. It was food that was cooked so well, and it's really enjoyable. And yet, for weeks before that, I didn't have a roast dinner. You know, is that an overindulgence? Maybe it is, but you know, it's at that special time of year, isn't it? And of course, with the you know, with maybe good food, you know, comes bad food. So you get the desserts for after, don't you? You get the cakes, you get the chocolatey type stuff, the trifles, the ice creams, you know. And I'm somebody that always looks for some kind of dessert afterwards. For me, it's you know, it rounds off a meal. You know, I've always looked forward to a dessert. I think for me, growing up, you know. We always used to have like a little something sweet after our main meal. And, you know, food is a very much a social element to it, doesn't it? So, you know, somebody will ring you up and say, let's go out for a bite to eat. Let's go and have a bite here. Or if you're somewhere and you just happen to feel hungry, you end up having a bite out. There is a social aspect to food. And, of course, there's the overindulgence of food. Of the wrong food. So last year in 2024, I managed to say to myself, you know, I was putting on far too much weight. My belly was getting probably far too bigger than it should have been. So I sort of conducted a sort of myself in a way where I just wanted to try and lose the weight. Now I dropped I dropped about 3 stone, which was lovely. It was great. I don't know what that works out to in pounds, I'm sorry, but yeah, so I lost about 3 stone and I felt so much better for it. In fact, I would say that I felt more energetic and had more energy about me. Now, on the run up to Christmas, I obviously put the weight on again, well, not all of it, but I put some of it back on again because I felt somewhat lethargic. We've got these very short days. It's very easy, isn't it, to sit at home and use food as a crutch while you're watching, say, TV. You know, you go to the refrigerator, you open it up, and yeah, you just indulge yourself. Are you hungry? No, of course you're not, but you eat it anyway, and that's what happens. So I think in Western culture, at least, you know, we have to say to ourselves, we're going to have to try and, you know, measure this, keep it in a sustainable way. So that's why a lot of people go down to the gym, which I don't do, by the way, which I probably should do. I probably should lift weights because that's quite healthy for you. I have changed my diet though in the last year. I started eating an omelette for breakfast, and then right after I've eaten that omelette, I'll do another omelette and put it in a wrap, and I'll have that for lunch at work. And you know, and whenever I've felt like I've needed that little sweet burst at work, I just really love grapefruits. Now some people would laugh at that. You know, most people probably have an orange or an apple afterwards. But I just love grapefruits, so every time I see them, you know, in the supermarket, I tend to pick them up, and that really gives me a burst of flavour right after my main meal. So I guess for me, I've learned that, you know, with food, it's not about restricting your diet in order to be slimmer. It's about replacing certain foods with other foods, more healthier, more natural, more kinder foods to your body. Because, as I alluded earlier, you know, you don't want medicine to be your food, do you? You know, so what you need is to have a sustainable and enjoyable lifestyle. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some foods out there that you just love, but you know you couldn't eat it every day. Say, for example, I'm quite partial to an Indian takeaway. I do love a chicken tikka masala, you know, I just love curries per se, or a danzak, an Indian danzak. That's lovely. So these are lovely, you know, very tasty foods. You probably wouldn't want to eat it every day because you just feel, you know, like bloated. Obviously I'm a big fan of bread, but bread seems to bloat me out more the older I get. So I've kind of recently switched it out to sourdough, and I have a bit of that kind of bread, and that makes me feel sort of satiated. And food is such a contentious issue, isn't it? It really is. The devastating effects of obviously too much consumption can mean that you're overweight and you lose mobility, and that is not good. It really isn't good. You know, we all need to be mobile. We all need to be physically able to live our lives, to do the things that make life fun and enjoyable. So on that note, I'm going to wrap it up and say I hope you're well, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye now.